great players, they have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, baby.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raiders related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into it. Now, the Las Vegas Raiders officially releasing Derek Carr. The search for a new quarterback continues. Currently, I think the two most likely scenarios for the quarterback position would be either to trade for Aaron Rodgers or you draft a rookie quarterback in this year's NFL draft. And the latest reports have shown us that recently the Raiders reached out to Green Bay to inquire over what the asking price for Aaron Rodgers could potentially be. And really, this is a big question. This question will really determine whether or not trading for Aaron Rodgers would be a wise investment. The asking price for Aaron Rodgers really has ranged from as much as multiple first round picks from certain reports, and also you've seen other reports suggesting that it may not take what we initially thought it would take to land a deal for Aaron Rodgers, maybe more like a mid-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. But according to The Herd, an FS1 sports show hosted by Colin Cowherd, they have stated that they believe the asking price for Aaron Rodgers would be a first-round pick, a third-round pick, and a fifth-round pick in order to get the job done. And personally, I do think this trade value seems more realistic for what it would really take to trade for a Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Look, I feel like the reports indicating that we could potentially steal Aaron Rodgers for, say, a mid-round pick, like a third or fourth-round pick, whatever the case may be. I think that was a little bit too optimistic, and I don't think that's very likely, at least at this moment, because obviously, if that was the case, then I think the Raiders should definitely do that trade immediately, because no quarterback will give you a better chance to compete next season than a guy like Aaron Rodgers. And I do get the sense that our owner Mark Davis really wants to win as soon as possible. And obviously, if you don't have to give up that much for Aaron Rodgers, like, you can still trade for Aaron Rodgers. You could still be in play to draft a quarterback in the first round, like potentially a CJ Stroud. And ultimately, as long as the Green Bay Packers aren't demanding multiple first round picks, then I think considering giving up a first, third, and fifth round pick should definitely be taken into consideration from this front office. The asking price really doesn't seem outrageous to me, and if done right, you can even potentially negotiate for an even better price, especially considering that everything seems to indicate that Aaron Rodgers would be highly interested in joining the Raiders, and the fact that by us trading for Aaron Rodgers, we also run the risk of him potentially retiring after one season. So that's definitely something you got to mention to Green Bay. And you know, this is definitely why I would not want us to give up multiple first round picks for Aaron Rodgers. But if we ended up making this move, giving up a first, third, and fifth round pick for Aaron Rodgers, you would definitely want to do everything in your power to give up next year's first round pick over this year's 7th overall pick. And now obviously Green Bay is going to want that 7th overall pick, because if we trade for Aaron Rodgers, there's a good chance that we won't be selecting in the top 10 next year. But I'm going to be honest, I really don't want to give up this year's number 7th overall pick. So it's definitely a tough situation. Look, Aaron Rodgers, if you can get him for a reasonable asking price, let's say a 2024 first round pick, this year's third round pick, and a fifth round pick, then I think you definitely should consider that. Also, another factor that I think we should look into is if Aaron Rodgers really wants to come to Las Vegas, which, you know, we've all kind of assumed that he wants to come to Las Vegas just due to all the subliminals, cryptic messages on social media. But if this guy really wants to come to Las Vegas, then him and Davante Adams really need to continue to play their part in recruiting Aaron Rodgers, and even potentially have Aaron Rodgers come out and make it clear to Green Bay that he wants to come to the Raiders, and that if he doesn't get traded to Las Vegas, then he will retire. If something like this were to happen, then Green Bay will lose a lot of leverage in trade negotiations, and this would severely help the Raiders in terms of making a trade for Aaron Rodgers. At that point, you can give up less than what they were initially asking for. At that point, you could definitely trade for Aaron Rodgers without having to give up the farm. And to be honest, I don't really see a scenario where we trade for Aaron Rodgers for a decent price without Rodgers helping us out a little bit and putting some pressure on Green Bay's front office to make a deal happen to eventually get Aaron Rodgers to the Las Vegas Raiders. The town of Las Vegas needs stars. They need excitement to drive ticket sales for Raiders fans in Allegiant Stadium. Unless Mark Davis wants to continue having his home stadium filled with opposing fans. Because I tell you what, until the Raiders can become competitive, then this will continue to happen in Allegiant Stadium. Because Raiders fans, including myself, look, we're not going to spend thousands of dollars to travel to Las Vegas, to travel to Allegiant Stadium, where we have seen that the Raiders have the most expensive ticket prices in the whole National Football League. We're not going to pay all this money just to see a terrible product on the field. Being in Las Vegas, you have to find a way to be competitive. So basically, for these reasons, this is why I think the Raiders will heavily pursue a trade for Aaron Rodgers. But ultimately, we need to make sure we don't overpay for Aaron Rodgers, because realistically, he will only be here for about 2 more years. And if it doesn't pan out with Aaron Rodgers, then this would set the Raiders back years, especially if we had to give up multiple first-round picks. That could be an absolute disaster for this franchise. But if the Raiders are going to get Aaron Rodgers, then we are going to have to hope Aaron Rodgers plays his part and applies some pressure towards Green Bay. And who knows, maybe that'll happen after he comes back from his whole darkness retreat. And look, we'll have to see too, because you never know. Maybe after Aaron Rodgers comes out of that, maybe he states that he wants to retire as a Green Bay Packer, or maybe he just goes the Tom Brady route and decides he wants to retire. But the Raiders definitely need to have a plan B in case they cannot get a deal done for Aaron Rodgers, in case the asking price is way too high, in case Aaron Rodgers wants to stay, whatever the case may be. The Raiders have to have a backup plan, and for me, that really has been a draft your potential franchise quarterback of the future, which to me would be CJ Stroud. Hell, I could even argue this is what I prefer most, because look, if we're going to give up a lot of draft capital, I'd rather give it up for a guy who could potentially be the next star in the NFL. A guy who could secure the most important position of our football team for years to come. And this is definitely what Dave Ziegler has been talking about. He also has mentioned that he wants to build a recipe to have sustained success in the National Football League. And by drafting your quarterback, hitting on your draft picks, that's the way you do it. We've seen from many teams that drafting the right quarterback, getting him on that rookie contract has really been the blueprint to have success in the National Football League. So I think the Raiders should definitely consider that. But it's tough too, because if Mark Davis is putting a lot of pressure on Josh McDaniels to perform next season, then he may not want to go the route of a rookie quarterback. He may want to get a veteran quarterback who can compete as soon as possible. But we'll just have to see what happens. Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Would you guys be willing to give a first, third, and fifth round pick for Aaron Rodgers? Let me know. But with that being said, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raiders related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.